Here's what's happening right now.
It is back to work for state lawmakers as a second special session starts tomorrow. Hello, I'm Jamie Ostroff in for Sherry Jackson.
And I'm Jim Dunaway. Governor Bentley called the second session so that lawmakers can try again to pass a general fund budget. WIAT 42 News reporter Michael Oder live tonight with us with a look ahead. Michael, what's on the table?
Everything is on the table, Jim and Jamie. Gambling, increase on taxes for things like cigarettes, even moving money from the Education Trust Fund over to the general fund budget. This legislature needs to pass a budget before time and money runs out. Lawmakers are heading back to Montgomery Tuesday for a second special session. Their first priority is passing a general fund budget. Governor Bentley, in a Labor Day message, stressed budget reform.
We must adequately fund state government and essential services for this state.
Bentley has battled uphill for his budget reform ideas, raising taxes instead of other forms of revenue. Some in the State House see other avenues for growth.
But I understand that there's going to be a proposal coming from the Democrats on lottery, and I don't know what it'll look like. I don't know if I'll vote for it, but I'm anxious to see what they have to say, as well as what other members of the legislature bring to the table.
State Representative Jack Williams, a Republican from Vestavia Hills, believes a budget will be passed this session.
There's been a lot of talk between Democrats and Republicans, and I think we're going to be able to cobble together a budget that meets our needs, and more importantly, I think we're taking the first steps of some budget reforms that will pay off in the long run.
Bentley has highlighted massive cuts if taxes aren't raised. He's also going through a very public divorce and fighting rumors of misusing state funds. Williams says the governor's distractions won't affect lawmakers.
I'm sure someone may go to the mic and demagogue on this. Individual members won't make it a distraction. It won't be unless folks try and make it that.
Now, the special session begins tomorrow evening at 5 p.m. If, for whatever reason, the legislature cannot pass a budget this session, the state of Alabama will run out of money on October 1st. Live in Birmingham tonight, Michael Oder, WIAT 42 News coverage you can count on.
Thank you, Michael. And with the state's budget on the line tomorrow, several departments could face major funding cuts, including Alabama's prison system. Alabama Corrections Commissioner Jeff Dunn says the system faces a 5% cut. Now, this would increase prison crowding from 185% to 213%. Earlier this year, lawmakers approved several reforms to combat overcrowding, but they have not funded those reforms.
Tonight, dealing with a loss, there'll be a special service at John Carroll High School tomorrow to remember a student and former student who died over the weekend. 18-year-old Christopher Nems died Friday night in a one-car crash on Highway 13 in Hoover. Police say he was ejected from the vehicle. Nems was a senior at John Carroll High School. Now, students will also remember Patrick Wurzner. He was a 2014 graduate who died while rock climbing Sunday. Counselors will be at the school tomorrow to help students and faculty get through this difficult time. Today, hundreds of cyclists pedaled to remember one of their own. The 7-mile ride was to honor William Robertson. He was killed in August after a truck hit him and 2 others while they were riding their bikes up in Blount County.
William was a rider. He would have wanted us to continue to ride. So we can't operate on fear. We've got to really operate on the fact that this is a part of who we are, this is our community, and this is about really being safe on the roads.
And to that end, this Saturday, Ride United Birmingham is hosting a ride through the city's historic civil rights landmarks. The money raised will support cycling and motorist education. For more information on that ride, head to WIAT.com and click on links.
Police are reaching out to the family of a motorcyclist involved in a fatal accident. That happened on Tribley Street over in the Pratt City area around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Police tell WIAT News that the 42-year-old was speeding when his motorcycle collided with a car. The driver was pronounced dead at the scene, and police are not releasing that person's name. Birmingham police need your help solving a possible murder that happened over the weekend. Police found 60-year-old James Brooks unresponsive at his home on the 3400 block of 31st Place North on Sunday. Investigators say his death might have resulted from a domestic violence situation. Officers arrested a woman at the scene, but she has since been released. Know anyone with information on this case is asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number 205-254-7777. Now, Hoover police are looking for the killer who shot the Home Depot worker, 25-year-old Xavier Beasley. The store is located on Highway 280. That is where police say Beasley was leaving work Saturday after midnight when someone walked up to him, shot him, and ran away. Police think he was targeted. There have been absolutely no arrests so far, so if you can help with this case, you are asked to call the Hoover Police Department. That number, 205-822-5300.
Nationally today, thousands of mourners said goodbye to an Illinois police lieutenant killed in the line of duty.
Hey! Stop!
Lieutenant Joe Gliniewicz, his funeral service was held inside a high school in his hometown today. Officers from all over the U.S. attended this service. During the ceremony, Gliniewicz's wife and 4 sons were presented with a Medal of Honor.
When we were growing up, we all knew Joe was a hero. But now the nation knows he's a hero. You'll always be a part of my life.
Police are still looking for 3 suspects behind the lieutenant's death. There's a $50,000 reward for the capture and conviction of those who killed that officer. Well, a Texas high school football team is making headlines for the wrong reasons.
That's right. It's absolutely stunning video of 2 players hitting a referee during a game, and it's gone viral.
The referee appears to be watching a play about to begin when a player runs at him from behind and tackles him to the ground. A second player then dives on top of him, helmet first. Monday, the Northside Independent School District in San Antonio, Texas, indefinitely suspended both players from football and school pending an investigation. They said in a statement, quote, "The video that we saw is extremely disturbing. It is not the good sportsmanlike behavior that we teach students." Local police also say they are investigating. They've made no arrests, but former police officer and criminal defense attorney James Reeves says he expects both players will face felony charges.
The problem in this case is the helmets could arguably be considered a weapon.
But Reeves and at least one high school parent say finding out why the boys tackled the referee is critical.
We need to figure out if it was actually an accident before we start throwing out charges and everything, because that's going to put 2 kids who may have not meant to do that or any harm in a situation where they're struggling for the rest of their life to live down something that they didn't mean to happen.
The school district says it will open its investigation Tuesday, interviewing students, coaches, and referees.
Now, the governing body that oversees high school competition in Texas says it too will conduct an investigation and will take the appropriate action once that investigation is complete.
Well, new at 10, at least 1 person has died and dozens of others are sick and amid a Salmonella outbreak. Now there's a recall of cucumbers linked to the illness in 27 states. The recall affects Andrew and Williamson fresh produce cucumbers, like those shown right there. They were imported from Mexico and sold under the limited edition label after August 1st. Health officials say they're the likely source of the outbreak that made over 200 people sick and killed 1 person in California. Now, the CDC has not reported a link to the outbreak here in Alabama.
Today we did have a couple of isolated showers, one of which even carried into this evening, but all of those have wrapped up for the night, so we are done with the rain for now. But that will be changing here soon. Our live view over downtown Birmingham from our Storm Track Tower camera, you'll see clear skies, temperatures around 78 as an average, and we're looking at a dew point of 68 with the heat index at 80, so it still feels a bit warmer than the actual temperature. But most spots have cooled down now into the low and mid 70s. 71 right now for Coleman, Gadsden at 73 along with Hamilton. We're looking at 76 now for those of you in Alabaster, Pelham, Helena, Indian Springs, Inverness, and even around the Cahaba River, we're looking at numbers into the mid-70s at this hour. Same for the Tuscaloosa area. Clear skies at times tonight. There will be a few passing clouds, but temperatures as we go through the night tonight, you'll see drop back into the upper 60s and low 70s for tomorrow morning. Here's a quick look at the Storm Track weather headlines. Mild and muggy tonight. Rain chances are going up and temperatures start to cool down. Much more in your forecast coming up.
A lot of people are wrapping their arms around a little boy who's getting global recognition from U.S. troops across many seas.
Find out why they're calling him the real soldier. Plus, President Obama used this Labor Day to sign an executive order for paid leave. We'll hear how locals feel about it coming up next.